This grandmother has been locked up for 15 years, but she is able to survive without food or water, and has grown into a tree. A special experience turned her into a monster, and everything is related to the secret hidden in this temple. Welcome to Movie Ape Channel. Today I will bring you a fantasy and horror movie, Tumbat. On a rainy evening, in a small house, two boys are delivering food to their grandma. But they are very scared because grandma is said to eat people, and their mother never allows them to enter grandma's room. The brothers are carrying the prepared food and walking towards a locked room. Just as they are about to go inside, their mother arrives just in time. She gets very angry at the two brothers, and then she walks in with the food herself. In the room, their mother is trimming their grandma's toenails with an oversized pair of pliers. You can tell from this foot that grandma is not an ordinary person. At night, grandma wakes up and she keeps crying and howling. Their mother is terrified, so she takes the axe and says a name through the door, Hastar. The name seems to be a spell, and the grandma instantly falls asleep when she hears it, and their mother is relieved. The name Hastar comes from a myth. This is the goddess of prosperity, she has infinite gold and food, and she is the master of the universe. She once gave birth to millions of gods, and her most beloved one was her firstborn, Hastar. But the greedy Hastar tried to steal all the gold and food from the goddess. On that day, Hastar successfully stole the gold, but he was discovered while trying to steal the food. To punish Hastar, the goddess imprisoned Hastar in her belly and made him suffer from hunger forever, and he could never be worshipped. And this temple was built on top of the belly of the goddess. The reason their mother is willing to serve their grandma for so long is because this monstrous grandma knows a secret about the treasure in the temple. However, on this very day, Vinayak's brother accidentally falls from a tree, and his mother runs wildly to the hospital with his brother in her arms. Only Vinayak is left at home tonight. Soon, it is time to deliver dinner to his grandma. Vinayak is so scared that he accidentally spills the flour. The grandma is awake and she tells Vinayak that she knows how to get the treasure in the temple. The greedy and poor boy is tempted by the treasure. He opens the door. Inside is a skin-ulcerated, ogre-looking old lady. The frightened Vinayak throws away the lamp and tries to escape, but his grandma locks his ankle. Vinayak tries to remember the spell his mother said, but he can't. He hides under the table, but the grandma instantly drags him up and prepares to eat him. In the nick of time, he shouts out the name Hastar. The grandma immediately falls asleep. His mother finally returns home, but unfortunately, his brother has died on the way to the hospital. The mother is heartbroken over the loss of her son. She feels that it is the grandma who has brought bad luck to the family, so she decides to take Vinayak and leave the place. But Vinayak gets greedy and can't let go of the gold mentioned by his grandma. The mother is very angry. She forces Vinayak to promise that he will never return to the village. 15 years later, Vinayak breaks his promise and he returns to their old house. Vinayak finds the place overgrown with plants, and strangely enough, a beating heart is hanging from the roots of a tree. He looks down and sees that his grandma is actually still alive, and a tree has grown out of her chest. Instead of being scared, Vinayak is very excited because he knows that as long as grandma is alive, there will be a way to get the secret of the treasure. So Vinayak makes a deal with his grandma. Grandma tells Vinayak the way to get the treasure from the temple, and he promised to set her on fire to free her. Since then, Vinayak is able to get a few gold coins every once in a while, and his life is getting better and better. And every time he gets the gold coins, he sells them to the merchant Raghav, which makes Raghav wonder, where does Vinayak get his gold coins? So this day he sneakily follows Vinayak to the dilapidated temple, where he sees Vinayak climbing down a well with a metal box. After a while, Vinayak comes out of the well with some gold coins in his hand. Raghav is thrilled, he finally knows Vinayak's secret. So when Vinayak leaves, he can't wait to get down into the well, and when he gets to the bottom, he finds that there is another well here. He continues to climb down, and he notices that the walls around him have turned red. He is scared, but for the gold he is not going to give up. When he reaches the bottom, he finds that the walls are actually moving, but where is the gold? Suddenly, he discovers the metal box brought down by Vinayak. Raghav curiously opens the box, and inside is actually a human-shaped dough. Just as he is confused, something quickly pounces on him. It turns out that Vinayak has long found Raghav, although he kinda like Raghav, but Raghav has found his secret, then Raghav must die. The metal box was left by Vinayak deliberately, with the purpose of killing Raghav. When Vinayak returns to the cave, Raghav has turned into a monster similar to his grandma. So what is the dough inside the metal box for? And where did the gold coins come from? Next, Vinayak gives Raghav a demo. It turns out that this red cave is the belly of the goddess of prosperity, and Hastar is imprisoned in this cave. Hastar is very cruel, anyone who is bitten by him will turn into a monster, but Hastar is afraid of flour, so Vinayak draws a circle on the ground with flour, it can keep Hastar out. Then Vinayak throws the dough to attract Hastar's attention, and when the hungry Hastar is eating the dough, Vinayak takes the opportunity to steal the gold coins from his loincloth. The gold coins that fall on the ground will be quickly absorbed by the belly, so he has to move fast. And he must get out of here before Hastar finishes his food, otherwise Hastar will turn to eat him. To get the gold coins, he has to repeat this dangerous process every time. After Vinayak gets some gold coins, he climbs out of the cave, while Raghav dies inside. Since then, Vinayak has been living like a king. For more than 10 years, Vinayak has been taking gold coins from the temple constantly. However, as he gets older, his body is not as strong as it used to be, and he often returns with nothing. So Vinayak decides to pass on his skills to his son. Vinayak never let his son Pandurang go to school. He makes Pandurang climbing ropes and picking coins every day. Pandurang is going to earn a lot of money by climbing ropes, but if he climbs too slow he will be bitten by Hastar. Seeing his son getting faster and faster, Vinayak decides to take his son to the cave to practice, so that he can get familiar with the environment. Before entering the cave, they first make a dough with pebbles in it, which will make Hastar chew a little longer and buy them more time. But after teaching his son how to make the dough, Vinayak throws the dough away. He tells his son that they are only here to practice this time, there is no need for dough. After entering the cave, Pandurang is scared. Vinayak patiently teaches his son. He tells his son to draw a circle with flour first. After drawing the circle, Pandurang suddenly takes out a dough from his clothes. The exposed dough soon attracts Hastar, and Vinayak immediately rolls into the circle. But Pandurang accidentally falls out, and Vinayak rushes to pull him back. However, Pandurang is even more greedy than his father. He runs out again to get the gold coins. Luckily, they climb out of the cave in time, but Vinayak is very angry with his son. He beat his son hard. Back home, two government officials come to visit Vinayak, and since they have been taking donations from Vinayak, they tell Vinayak a message that the government is going to nationalize the temple. If the government takes away the temple, then Vinayak will no longer be able to get the gold coins. He is very anxious. Meanwhile, Pandurang is flirting with Vinayak's mistress with the gold coin he got from the cave, and he claims that he will marry her. When Vinayak finds out, he beats his son again. Seeing that his father is angry, Pandurang wants to please his father, so he gives his father an idea. He says that taking a few gold coins at a time is not enough, and that they should steal Hastar's loincloth. This way they will have endless gold coins. Vinayak gets even more angry. Hastar is so ferocious, how can you steal his loincloth? Pandurang continues, they can make a lot of dough, then one of them keeps throwing the dough to keep attracting Hastar's attention, and the other one will have enough time to steal Hastar's loincloth. After hearing it, Vinayak thinks it is indeed a good idea and he should do it before the temple is nationalized. They prepare a large amount of flour and set off. They made a huge bag of dough before entering the cave. When they get into the cave, Pandurang draws a circle with the flour and both of them are excited. Then Vinayak takes out two dough, and when he stands up, he is shocked, because there are two Hastars in front of him. And unaware of this, Pandurang takes out all the dough. Vinayak is terrified and tries to tell his son to hide the dough, but it is too late. Dozens of Hastars surround them, and Vinayak is desperate. He regrets that he listened to his son, but now it's too late. Pandurang is also regretful and begs his father to forgive him. Vinayak decides to tie all the dough on himself and sacrifice himself to protect his son. He lures the Hastars to crawl to the entrance of the cave, and kills all of them using the flour circle drawn in advance. Subsequently, Pandurang climbs out of the cave, while his dad Vinayak has turned into a monster. But to his surprise, Vinayak has got the loincloth. Pandurang burst into tears, and this time instead of being greedy, he throws the lamp at his father. Vinayak laughs when his body catches fire. Now he finally understands why his grandma asked him to burn her.